Are you ready for the Low Blows Network? It's the show where you control what's on the agenda. Ask us anything and we're blood-bound to answer. Starring Rick Nash, Corporate King, and the Queen of Irish Wrestling, Katie Harvey. It's Ask Low Blows. Welcome, freeloaders, to Ask Low Blows, now available for free on Spotify, iTunes, or Patreon, however you're listening. Guys, if it's your first time listening, this is like Low Blows, except way better. All of us prefer this. So, Keane, this is confirmed. This is the better show between the two. Yeah. Alright, you literally just confirmed.
You tell I'm not rushing for the 9:40 bus. I'm just. This is just how I normally talk. Just really fast. That's how it works.
we basically, if you like Low Blows, this is where like the shy talk goes. Like Low Blows is really structured. We want to hit on like all the big points from wrestling during the week. Whereas Ask Low Blows, we just talk shy. It's the show that you guys literally control.
You can ask us questions about like Velocity from 2004.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't need to be. Who cares?
It doesn't even need to be wrestling. Like we ended up having like a 20-minute chat on weird stuff we had in our house before.
That was actually a good one, though.
It was the best one. It was one of my favourites. Like, yeah.
For those of you who don't know, I have a poster of Darren Fletcher on my wall. And I still don't know why. And it's been up on my wall for about 10 years now.
And it's still there.
It's still there.
Just the Darren Fletcher update. This is what this show is. You guys control it. Ask us literally anything, wrestling or otherwise, and we will answer and we'll talk shy. We also get a bit looser, and I want to start off like this is where we'll tell like stories from our life and be able to actually have the chats. So I want to start off with a story that I shared on Twitter last week, but the problem was like I shared it like just before NXT TakeOver UK at like 4:00 on the Saturday. So no one was reading it.
You're asking for nobody to see that.
So no one was reading it, but I liked it because like on one stage I was like, it's ages, this is the perfect Ask Low Blows story, but it's ages to the next Ask Low Blows and it's really funny, so I want to get it out there. So I did put it out there. I'm going to start getting real. But, like, don't get uncomfortable, guys. It's fine. I'm fine.
My job to get uncomfortable. I'm the one that's here. You can just relax.
You don't get uncomfortable. It's okay. I'm fine.
Burst out crying across the table.
Just so like, that'd be amazing.
Just pack up and leave. Like.
Actually, you would. Generally, just go. No. So anyway, recently, I went through a messy breakup. All right. I'm such an oversharer, but like, guys, this is worth it. This is worth it, guys. But anyway, different people handle breakups differently, and every breakup is different in itself. This was like a messy one, where like it was kind of like, you know, did the stupid like unfollowing each other on social media and that kind of shite, like it was bollocks. Personally, I'm not one of those guys in a breakup where I like to do that. It's not that I like to stay friends with my exes, because I don't think day-to-day contact is healthy either. Like, I don't think you can fully move on from that. But I do like to stay friendly, like, especially after kind of whatever caused the breakup, the whole emotions have subsided. Like, I like to stay on friendly terms because, like, you've spent time with this person, you've got to know them, and they've been a good friend to you at the very least. So, like, it's shit when, like, that kind of part breaks down. So, after that, I kind of gone on, because this happened like just before Christmas, and then like kind of in the new year, as kind of things subsided and emotions started to ease off, I was like, you know what, I'll kind of cross the bridge here and kind of, you know, I'm like, there was a thing that we talked about, and I won't get into the details or anything like that, but there's a thing we talked about that I can actually, like, I'm after learning something new on it that'll actually help them, so I'll pass that along, and that can at least be kind of an olive branch. So I sent an email, and I was just like, hey, look, just passing you on this, I know you're looking at this, so there you go, blah, 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 blah. And then there was like a second paragraph where it was like, hope everything is cool with us eventually, blah, 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 blah. I won't get into details. No one wants to know my ultra personal life, and I'm already getting way too oversharey. And then a day later, I'm like, oh, another thing popped up. So I'm like, right, I'll pass that on because that's related to the first thing. So I'm like, just send you and there wasn't anything personal in this. It was like, oh, by the way, there you go, that too. Just kind of following up, and then left it. No reply for a couple of days. I was like, grand, don't worry about it, it's fine. I got a reply a few days later, clicked into it, and it like in the email, it looked like the same name, so I was like, all right, I'm after getting a reply here, but it's like a one-line reply. I'm like, oh, fuck, what is this? The email reply said, hello, Rick. I can't remember the exact words, but something like this. Hello, Rick. I am sorry that this happened to you. But this is not girlfriend's name or ex's name. My name is Noel. So immediately I was like, obviously mortified, and I'm like, I really hope I'm not on Joe.e. But also as well, like, I'm like, what would I do if I was Noel? I'd be like, group chats, screenshot group chat, look what I'm at again. And I realised the fuck up, because basically the email is like first letter of the first name dot second name at blah blah blah.com. But also my ex's email has a number at the end of the first name. I didn't send it to the number. I sent it to the, so it was the same. So then the question became, what do I do with this? Because obviously I have to do something with this. Do I get back to Noel, acknowledging his reply, and then be like, women, am I right? Am I right, Noel? Or do I make it really elaborate? Because, like, I could just pretend I haven't seen it, continue to send emails to Noel, and make it bigger and bigger, and make it more ridiculous. Like, for example, one thing that I wanted to send was like, the dog was just watching, okay? Just really fuck with Noel's head, and actively trying it on Joe.e. So, what should I do? I can still respond to this at any stage. I could just use this at any stage.
I don't know.
I can't get back now and go, women, am I right? Like, that's an anticlimax, because it happened like 2 weeks ago.
That's what I mean. Initially I would have said continue.
Like, just,
I think a lot of time has lapsed though.
See, this is the thing. I could no sell that I've seen it, and then just like I'm writing another email, and then Noel's like, he's fucking written again. Like, this guy, like, what the fuck? And then, like, I could totally just continue it, like. But what would I say? What would I write? What could I say to Noel? How could I make it absolutely ridiculous? Like,
I don't know. I really wasn't prepared for this. I'm not good at thinking on my feet.
All right, fair enough. Don't worry about it. We'll get to the questions you're prepared for. Good guys, I want to know. Tweet us in. What should I write to Noel? What could my fake story be as I make this bigger and bigger? Keen, look.
It'll cost me halfway through the show.
He will think of stuff in the show. He'll be like, talk about sisters. He's just going to shout it in the middle. Guys, these are your questions for the week. Owen_Davis1 got on to us and said, with Katie Harvey now having medically enhanced elbows, should she be forced to wear elbow pads in order to protect her opponents from future ultra elbow attacks? How do you see Katie Harvey's elbow surgery affecting her in-ring work?
Oh, I think it's going to be gas. I hope she gets like big fucking Bobby Lashley elbows that don't even match like the rest of her like arms, and it's just like, it's like, I think it'd be hilarious. And she should be allowed to use them, in fairness. I mean, that's just what happens. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's, you use what you're given. Like, I mean, some wrestlers are monsters and some have the speed and pace. Some wrestlers have advantages and others don't.
Katie has 2 bionic elbows.
Exactly, that's just how it works. So no, she should be allowed to use them.
Dusty Rhodes had a bionic elbow.
Exactly, and that's, I mean, this is coming from me. You know what I mean? I'd love to be the first person around and say, no, she shouldn't be able to do that. I want her to lose, but let's be honest, she deserves to use those elbows.
Throw them elbows, Katie.
Yeah, fucking go for it.
Killer Steve W got on to us and asked, with WWE Network adding 1992 episodes of Superstars to start off the year, what other classic shows would you like to see added to the network this year?
Velocity and Heat.
Velocity, I think Heat is on it.
Oh, is it?
I think like old Attitude Era, like when it was really good.
I mean like when I would have been younger, like 2 years ago. No, from like,
you want like Kurt Hawkins against Mojo Rawley, like.
I want like, I don't know, 04, 03, 04, 05, 06, 07.
Give me an example of a Sunday Night Heat match or a Velocity match from then.
Do you remember when Raven lost a match to Tommy Dreamer that meant that he was no longer on Raw, and he wanted to turn Heat into his playground,
right,
but he never did? But I'd like to see the parts where like he was there.
Okay. I want to see him try, and then I want to see it get dropped randomly. I want to see a lot of, and they have some of this stuff up, but what I want to see is, do you know when they did like the documentaries, like the Montreal Screwjob? I'm not sure that's up. Do you remember they did Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart sit with Jim Ross for 3 hours and they talk about the Screwjob in depth?
No.
They did. It was a DVD release ages back when Bret Hart first came back.
Heat. This is like
no, it wasn't Sunday Night Heat.
That makes more sense.
3 hour episode of Heat where they just like debate.
That's what I mean. Like,
no, it's a DVD release. Like, yeah, I'd love to see like the old DVDs, but the documentary parts of the DVDs. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I get you.
Paul Heyman, I think they do like a 20-minute clip from it as a promo for the DVD. But now you're not going to sell that DVD anymore, so just stick it on the fucking network, like. But also, I get their point where they're like, if we do that, then no one will buy the DVDs. But then they also have to realise that's like saying no one's going to buy the VHSs because no one buys DVDs anymore. No one gives a shit. They're presents for kids who watch wrestling. You know what I mean?
Nicola buys DVDs.
Does she?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she's collecting them. I actually have a lot of DVDs at home as well, but I mean, haven't bought any recently. But it's still cool to have them physically, though.
I had a huge collection. Don't get me wrong. Like I had the big fucking Whopper one back in the day, but like
it's just that like it's just cool to have. It's cool to look at. Like and also with CEX, they're mad cheap now as well.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Would it be like old wrestling DVDs?
Yeah.
But like, see, I could totally see if you saw like an old WCW or ECW or random pay-per-view, like why you'd pick that up. But otherwise, it's like just on the network. Like,
but I mean, you can get the WCW or ECW on the network too.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, but it's not the same.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, do you know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's something that you wouldn't be able to see otherwise.
Yeah.
And it's like, right, I have to find a DVD player for this, but it'd be worth it. Like, I get that. But that's what I'd like to see personally. Trey_C got on and asked, do you think there will be another Royal Rumble with over 30 entries?
Yeah. 30's small now. Like back, like 30 used to be loads at the time, and it used to be like, oh, everyone's getting to that then. But now it's like you got Raw, SmackDown, NXT UK, 205 Live. You got all these wrestlers, and that's excluding legends and people returning and giving you a surprise. There's a lot of top talent that aren't even going to be in this, I don't think.
Yeah, don't forget we had one last year, the Greatest Royal Rumble.
50, and even then, I mean, that was gas.
Yeah, it was fine. You didn't notice how long it went.
Obviously, it's on a show with 2 Royal Rumbles. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but yeah, it's a cool question.
Yeah, maybe not. Like, maybe not what if they're doing the 2, but like if they ever went back to 1, I could absolutely see it going like that. Favorite Royal Rumble and favorite Royal Rumble undercard match.
04 is my favorite Rumble.
Oh, I love that one. That's the one with Benoit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my favorite undercard match. Probably John Cena versus Umaga, 07. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
That is a great. Is that where he choked him out with the ring rope?
With the rope.
Yes, that was a great match. For me, favorite Rumble would be, I think 2001 was the most complete for me. Though the one where Cena came back in Madison Square Garden is fucking great. Like, they just nailed it. Like, because I don't think they did many legend surprise entrants for a few years before that. And then they had like Roddy Piper and Jimmy Snuka. Now I know that's a bit awkward in hindsight, but like, it was great at the time. And they had that whole square face off in Madison Square Garden. And then Cena obviously came back, and then you had Triple H and all that kind of stuff. So that was a great one. The one with Undertaker, I think it was 2007. Undertaker and Shawn Michaels for like 15 minutes at the end just gave us a preview of what their WrestleMania matches would be, and it's like, oh my god, these guys can work together. But 2001 would probably win it for me. Honky Tonk Man coming down, Kane being dominant. It turns into a hardcore match halfway through, with all the hardcore division getting involved and weapons and shit. Austin getting taken out by Triple H to winning it and setting up the Rock feud for WrestleMania 17. Favorite undercard match? This in tribute of our fallen comrade Katie Harvey. I'd actually agree with what I'd say her pick would be. Cactus Jack against Triple H street fight from Royal Rumble 2000. I think that's one of her favourite matches. That'd easily be my favourite Royal Rumble undercard match of all time. Anyman93 got on and asked, who is signing up for Vince to screw Finn, but only for Finn to enter a 30 and win the Rumble, continue the feud to Mania, and let the Demon emerge to victory?
So he means like signing up as in who agrees with it, like who likes the idea. Oh, that's a fucking awful idea.
You think?
Yeah. Why is it everyone? First of all, imagine at WrestleMania, Balor Rollins. Isn't that way better than Balor Lesnar? Well, not way better. But
Vince wins Finn wins the Rumble.
Yeah, but I want but wait, let me read that again.
Oh wait, it'd be Balor Lesnar.
It'd be Balor Lesnar, yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, I want to get Balor Lesnar now. Get out. Like, that's a great match. Why are people so upset? I saw people complaining about Mysterio Andrade because they were like, oh, you could save that for WrestleMania. Stop saving things for WrestleMania. I want to see it now. I want to be entertained all year. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like WrestleMania can't have a deadly card and have like Balor.
But what he's saying is that like it's Finn Balor the man loses and the Demon fights Brock at Mania.
Oh, but Brock could have a good match at Mania and Balor could have another good match at Mania. We got 2 good matches instead of 1 good match.
Yeah, but Balor can have. You just really want Balor Rollins.
Yeah.
Like,
WrestleMania. That's a WrestleMania
that
match.
doesn't make this a bad idea, though.
It is a bad idea. Everyone's so obsessed with interferences and things getting dragged across a couple of months. Like, I mean, imagine the Raws and SmackDowns between those.
Right.
It's going to be so dragged out.
Okay.
Like, that's a horrible, man. I'm sorry, I'm not with you on that one.
Okay, I'm just saying I don't think it's a bad idea. I like the idea. I could see Vince feuding with Balor. I don't know how it's going to pan out. I could see Triple H Balor at Mania if he doesn't win.
Oh.
If he doesn't win.
That's so bad.
Yeah, but you're going to like it by the time Triple H starts cutting a cool promo. Triple H is going to come out and cut a savage promo, and they're going to two-sweet each other, and then Triple H is going to pedigree him or something like that. And it's going to be like, okay, I'm into this. Because we always think when it's the Triple H match, before, we're like, oh, not Triple H. And then he comes out and does savage promos, and we're like, oh, I'm really into this match again.
I didn't enjoy Triple H Rollins. I didn't enjoy Triple H Reigns. So
You didn't enjoy Triple H Rollins when Rollins came back at NXT? Do you remember he
that
invaded
moment,
NXT?
Yeah, that moment with the match itself.
Oh, the match itself was the shits.
There you go then.
But Triple H is the best.
That a good thing then?
Triple H is the best match at WrestleMania last year.
Yeah, I get you. But Balor Rollins would be way better. And then you could do Lesnar against The Rock.
You're so married to this idea.
Yeah, because he'd be dead.
But you're doing a thing. You're also like, I don't disagree with what you're doing. I'm just saying it's interesting. You're doing the thing you're criticizing people for, in that you're criticizing people for being married to the things that they like.
Yeah.
But you will not hear anything but I need to see Balor against Rollins.
Because you haven't presented to me an idea that's better. Balor Triple H is not a better idea than that.
Okay, I'm not saying it's a better idea. I'm saying that like, if we're being realistic and Vince does see Lesnar as the guy he wants to hold the belt going into Mania, which I'd prefer Balor to win. If you're asking me, do I want Balor or Lesnar to win? But also, I'm also looking at alternative possibilities, and I could see Balor feuding with Vince. I see that as the feud they built up on Raw, more than Balor Lesnar. Like, if we're actually looking and analysing what WWE is doing and trying to predict what will happen.
I think what you're going with, that the build-up for your idea would be better. I don't know how Balor Rollins build-up is going to work, but...
Yeah.
But
2 months of mutual respect.
Yeah. That's what it'll be interesting.
It'd be really... No, but here's the thing as well, though. There's a flaw with Balor and Rollins. They've done it so much. They've been, like, inextricably linked, and it's what would make it a great WrestleMania main event on paper, but also maybe bad week to week on Raw. Because it's like... Oh, they're the tag team champions now.
So that's the real question. Would you rather a class build-up with a shit payoff or a shit build-up with a class payoff?
Shit build-up with a class payoff is impossible because I care about the build-up intrinsically.
No, because there could be a dog shit build-up, but going into Buskers that Balor versus Rollins at WrestleMania, they could be absolute shit. As in, they could literally come into the ring and shit on the ring canvas and leave, and we're still going to be bussing for it in Buskers.
Fair enough.
Balor Rollins to me is Styles Nakamura, but you give a shit about the ending, therefore it's much better.
Okay,
that's why I'm really into the idea.
Okay. Look, that's fair enough.
That's why your idea is shit, Andy. Sorry.
I'm
being a bit harsh on Andy. Thanks for your question.
He's had a long day, Andy. He's tired from college. Don't worry him. It's Cranky Keen here.
I'm not cranky.
I just really need to see this fucking match. Bittersweet G&M got on and asked, who would your picks for the WWE Hall of Fame be this year and why? I'd love to see Regal win. Regal's a great show. I'd love to see him too.
Sure, yeah. I don't keep up with the Hall of Fame. Don't know who's in it. Don't know who's out of it. I don't value the Hall of Fame. I think it's because they... No, this is a good question. I'm not shitting on it.
Yeah,
but they add loads of people every year. Like loads to the point where there's like mad people in it who like... You know what I mean? That haven't done that much in comparison to, say, The Rock. Is The Rock in it?
The Rock is someone who I was going to say, yeah.
Is The Rock not in it?
No.
But, like, Coco Beware is in it.
Yeah, because they need main eventers for future years.
What do you mean they need? Like, that's dumb. It's not like a card. They should only, in my opinion, they should only have like 3 inductees max a year.
I'd agree with that. Yeah, I totally agree with that. And then let them have their 40-minute speeches.
Yeah, exactly.
It's still only 2 hours long. Like, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not really my thing personally. But I'm gonna go with The Rock. Just off the top of my head, he's like one of the biggest names ever, and he's on the. So I'm gonna go with that. Regal is a good one though. I agree with that.
Yeah, if you're doing a lot of British stuff, then Johnny Saint, the likes of them. You know what I mean? You could get a lot of world.
Is it WWE or is it like wrestling in general? Do you know what I mean? Like their accomplishments all around the place.
They've started to take ownership for wrestling in general. But
Sting? Is Sting in it?
Yes,
he didn't do much in WWE. So
and so there is like they have started to take ownership, but you're not going to see like Kenny Omega go. You know what I mean? Like,
but I mean, you probably will someday.
Yeah, you might, you never know. But probably he'd have to go to WWE to say. Anyway, look, Psycho Knock got on to us and asked approximately how many weird questions from from John Kelly will you get through on this episode? We've got 2 because I'm holding off a few for Katie because they are very Katie-centric. Also, let's say WWE decides to do a Rumble with wrestlers who haven't signed to a big name promotion, i.e. anyone with a TV deal in AEW. Who wins and why? You can't pick the unit.
Women, Sienna. Men, LJ Cleary. It's just you just ask for my favourites, or if he's asking for like who, in kayfabe. Not that I know what that word means, but like if this is another way of asking like who's the biggest free agent, like kind of the biggest name that's not signed anywhere. Strickland. I mean, apparently he's going to be signed, but currently he's technically not. David Starr, maybe.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't think Sienna is actually quite a big name for the women to not be signed anywhere.
Yeah.
Seshmot's a massive name to not be signed anywhere for the women. Like.
Yeah.
I genuinely I know you can call it optimistic. I really want to see Seshmot in AEW. I think it'd be so cool.
I think that's realistic as well.
She wrestles in the US,
and I think she's mates with Brandy. I think she's Brandy. Cody's.
Oh, Brandy! I said Bradley.
Yeah, I think they've wrestled together a few times and got a mutual respect.
Also, who could forget in bed with Martina with a dying Kenny Omega who had about -7 hours sleep.
Let's not bring that.
I'm just saying they're pals. She's going to be signed. It's going to be great.
Now let's get on to it. Mr. Alicia Fox, John Kelly, added this week to the Low Blows Network on a permanent basis. Got on as well and asked, "Do you hate the word moist? If so, why?"
No, love it, and I love saying it to people because it's funny because it pisses them off.
Exact same.
Yeah,
exact same. Yeah, I love people's reactions.
Moist. Damp as well. Isn't that a lovely word? Damp. Who doesn't love a good damp podcast?
What other words does she hate? Just so we know for when she's on.
I think that's kind of the main ones.
Right.
Or she hates when you arrange words in a certain order, like Bobby Lashley defeated Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental title on Raw a few weeks ago. That's a line she's not a big fan of.
Right.
But yeah.
Okay, interesting. Right, okay, so we're learning things to do when Nicola comes back in. Brilliant. What's your guilty pleasure song? Mine is ATC Around the World.
I don't really have, like, I'm not really a guilty pleasure. Like, I don't really find, I'm not really guilty about
You don't
any of my
feel
songs.
guilty for any of your
so it's just pleasures. I mean, I suppose the one that I'd probably be least likely to play in a car with people I don't really know that well would probably be the USSR National Anthem. But besides that, I mean, there's not really that mad in my guilty pleasure playlist. I feel like that's just the hardest to explain, really. It's just a good song, like. It's not my fault it's their national anthem, it's a tune, like.
That is so fucking random.
What's yours?
USSR. It's not the fucking USSR national anthem.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, like, ATC, that's not a guilty pleasure. I love Around the World. It's a steady song.
I like,
I mean, you have to be real guilty, do you know what I mean? Like,
you seem like John's carrying a lot of guilt. That man has got some burdens. He can tell a
out
story.
of all the shit John's done, how are you guilty about, like, liking the ATC Around the World? Surely, out of all the things you've done, how is that the one that makes you go, oh, guilty?
I don't know, like, yeah, I'm a massive Backstreet Boys fan. This year, I remember, like, one thing I've been listening to a lot this year, it's because I listened to it while still half drunk in the airport coming home from Japan earlier at the start, like, this time last year. And I've just been listening to it every now and then ever since, to the point, I listen to it ironically, but now I just think it's a really good underrated song. Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On. I've started listening to that again because I was like,
it's not a guilty pleasure, though,
I really want to hear this song. Like, I was locked and I'm like, I just want to hear this song now. I don't know why. And I don't need to explain it to anyone because it's in my ears. No one needs to know. And then, like, I've just started listening to it every now and then to get that buzz back. But now I'm just like, I just like that song. I'm into that song. So there you go. Jay Malloy 1985 with a serious question got on and asked, kind of wrestling you, I suppose, but how hard do you find it to separate the artist from their art, just in relation to the Graham Linehan controversy and the backlash? Do you think, for example, future generations will avoid further Ted the way wrestling fans with Benoit have?
I personally, you see, the thing is, I hate this because yes, I can't separate art from the artist. No bother.
Yeah,
I'll always love Father Ted. I don't give a fuck if Graham Linehan wrote it. I didn't even know he wrote it for ages after I first saw it. I didn't know who wrote it. So, but the thing is, there is a line though, in the sense that, like, yes, I can separate. I can still enjoy the Royal Rumble 04, even if Chris Benoit did what he did, but that doesn't mean we should put him in the Hall of Fame because he fucking, you know what I mean? Like there's a difference. Yes, I can still enjoy his matches, but I'm not going to glorify him either. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that's it.
That for me, the line is supporting them directly. Like, for example, I still, like, I can totally separate people. I can totally have that cognitive dissonance with people where it's like, I can watch Louis C.K. stand-ups to this day. Like, he just says some funny stuff. They're like, what he did, and to be honest, like, again, a lot of people will be like, there'll be a lot of people who'll be like, Louis C.K. did nothing wrong, it was architectural, blah, 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 whatever. I'm not getting into it, lads. But at the same time, what he did is, in his personal life doesn't make that joke any less funny or any less true, you know what I mean? So I can totally separate it. But I wouldn't also pay 50 quid to go see him live, because then I'm just putting 50 quid in his pocket, you know what I mean? So that'd be where I draw the line with supporting people. Even then, I'd still enjoy Father Ted, absolutely, despite Graham Linehan's. I never think, when I'm watching this show, I wonder what this person thinks about trans people. You know what I mean? If I'm enjoying the show, I think it's like, I think you're asking, and not you, Jimmy, I'm not saying this is representing your views, but I think a lot of people are overcomplicating this, where it's like, have you kept up with a lot of the Graham Linehan story?
Not really, just heard he's been a bit of a dick.
He's basically like, the story of Graham Linehan, as far as I perceive it, he's your uncle who is a bit old and doesn't fully understand a really complex issue, but he watched a documentary about it once, so he thinks he does. So then he put up a thing on social media, and a lot of people got angry with it. But he's your uncle, and he's old, and he's stubborn, and he thinks he's really smart. So now he's like digging in, and he's getting stubborn, and then he's starting to throw out words like, you're a misogynist, and you're this, and you're that, and it's like, you're in a hole. Just stop digging. he's kind of in that situation where it's like, all right, you're wrong. You've got this wrong. You need to stop being stubborn and just back away from the issue, because you're not helping yourself here. You're ruining yourself by getting more and more deeply involved. But also, I don't mind people having freedom of expression as well. Like, I do believe that Graham Linehan should be allowed to express himself. I hate this allergic reaction we have to anyone who doesn't agree with us on certain issues. Yes, I disagree with Graham Linehan wholeheartedly. He's an idiot. He's after making a show of himself here. But at the same time, the same freedom of expression that you enjoy to spread your quote-unquote right views are the same freedoms of expression that he gets to enjoy spreading his wrong views. If you are right, then you will be able to outlogic him because you are correct. So you'll be able to argue with him. Let people have their say. Let them be wrong. Correct them if they're wrong. You can't teach people by banning their views. By banning people's views, like people want to do with Graham Linehan, all you do is you set up the likes of Donald Trump, or you set up Brexit, or you set up situations where it's like, how did this happen? We didn't know so many people were thinking these things. Yes, because you made it not okay for people to say these thoughts that they were having. You didn't teach them, you didn't engage them, you didn't let them actually have a say, because you're like, ban him, he's wrong, he's evil. So that's how stuff like that happens, because people continue to be ignorant behind the closed doors because you've made it not okay. Let him have a say, prove him wrong. That's where I'm at with the Graham Linehan interview. To answer your question, as I said, yes, I can separate the art from the artiste. Declan Byrne 30 got on to us and asked, which two wrestlers start an Irish Royal Rumble? Who wins and who are the final four?
Right, just going to get through this as quick as I can, because I'm really running for this bus. Wait, which question is it? Oh, yes, Declan, there we go. Right, I'd start out with Nathan Martin and Darren Carney. I would have Devlin win it, because right now he is kind of Irish wrestling. Final four, I feel, just to represent everyone and kind of the future stars, I'd have Devlin, LJ, Scotty Davis, and Raven Creed. That'd be my four. I like
that. Final four, I don't know how to start that. Angel Cruz and Be Cool, because I really like when tag teams start, and it's like, what do we do?
That's why I went with more than nine.
Yeah. Final four, I'd go with Devlin, yes. So final four, you generally have people that can win it. Devlin, say Terry Thatcher, Scotty Davis, and then someone random. Who could be random that'd be in it? But you're like, could they win it? You know that.
Oh no, he's Irish.
Who could be random? Fuck. Someone that you could convince yourself.
Cowboy Jim West.
Sure, why not?
Sure,
We'll
cool.
go with that. And then, Devlin wins. Linus got onto us and asked, who would you repackage on the Irish wrestling scene and how? Keep in mind we're bookers, so let's not give away any plans we may have to repackage people.
Alright, cheap answer. I'm sorry about this, Linus, because it's technically already happening down in Phoenix, but it's not being done in OTT. Michael May with Tony Kelly. You know, in OTT, he's kind of respectful guy. He likes to respect people because he's super respectful and Japanese and wrestles Japanese people and teams with Japanese people and fights Japanese people, but shakes hands because he's very respectful and loves respecting people. In Phoenix, he doesn't give a fuck. Fuck you. Big win, Mick. Big win, open challenge. Fuck all of you. Fuck you, cunt. Fuck. Tony Kelly can do my talking because Tony's the man. Tony does the talking. It's great. People hate him because I mean, Tony's never walked into a room and he's never met with silence. Or, you know, people, you know, it's always, you know, people hate Tony and his lack of socks. So, always gets a reaction, always entertaining. And it's, it's just better. I think it just adds more to Michael just to have him there. And I know Tony's a commentator, but I don't see him be able to do both, commentating and managing. Maybe, hopefully, he could do that. I'd do that.
In OTT, similar enough to what you're saying, I'd have Valkyrie do her PWU heel character, where she's just a little fucking shit, but she's great at wrestling. I know she's recently turned heel, but I don't know if they're going for evil or fun. I'd let her just be totally fun and let her just completely get creative and off the handle and just give her like freedom to run with the ideas, because she gets that in PWU and the stuff she comes up with is fucking genius, but she's still a great wrestler. She's the PWU Women's Champion, so that's where I go with Valkyrie. Just let her, she's really charismatic when you let it come out of her, particularly as a heel. So that's what I do in OTT. I think it'll totally revitalise. I think it'll give the women's division, the entire division, a shot in the arm, because then it distinguishes her from, say, Dark Debbie, because they've recently both turned, but they both have similar-ish kind of arcs to their character, you know what I mean? But it just differentiates them, where Dark Debbie is dark and evil and raw and bitchy in this, whereas Valkyrie is just like mad. She's just mental and she just does what she wants. So that's the way I go with it. Linus also asked, pick a partner for Justy. He's looking for
Flamboyant Fabio. I'm really pushing for this bus.
Justin Daniels.
Deadly.
Justy, there you go. Justy and Justy. Stagmore13 got on and asked the latest conspiracy theory. Is low blows, ruins wrestling, wholesome fun, or is it a long con revenge on the Irish wrestling scene using the pawn Corporate Keane by the Puppet Master removing his Rick Nash face mask to be Alexander Dean saying it was me all along? His sa 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 ka ka ka.
Yeah.
Yes. Clueless nerd got on and asked, what would wrestlers' names be if they were strippers? E.g. Goldberg equals Polberg.
Oh, bollocks. Even if I had time, I'm off.
Randy Horton.
John seen strippers.
John C. Strippers.
Eric.
Finish Balor.
Cool. Sorry, man. I'm not bad at this regardless. I'm in a rush and all. I'm awful at this. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry, Adam. That was actually a really good question.
Fucking awful. I'm so sorry. That's my fault.
Shit the bed on that one. Kento CCFC got on to us and asked, favourite Royal Rumble surprise entrant?
AJ Styles. I think AJ Styles.
Yeah.
People forget how mad it is as time goes on, but it was extremely fucking ridiculously insane.
Yeah, and I did like the pop.
It's ridiculous.
The pop in Wolshed was amazing for that. Also, new quiz where I pick a random wrestler and you answer on him. CM Punk. 1, history. He made his right. What?
He made his TV debut in 06.
In 06 for ECW, but who did he slap in the face before his match?
Shannon Moore. I actually remember that one.
Okay.
Deadly. Great timing.
Over under. Number of title reigns in WWE. Over under 5.
I'm guessing over because I only remember about 3 or 4, so it's probably 6. That's just a guess.
Yeah, I definitely guess over if 5 is the median. Who am I? I was cashed in by Punk on after a grueling match.
I've no answer for this. I know he cashed in on Edge, but it wasn't after a match. So that if I had nothing, I was struggling to go Edge, but it's up to you. Orton? Sure.
Seems likely. SmackDown at the time?
Yeah, it would have been SmackDown, I'm guessing. Would have been 09 or 10.
We just go Edge. If you remember that.
No, because I know it's wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like, Orton's a good one. I'd go with that.
Okay, fair enough. Tag chums. Name the other members of the new Nexus.
Bollocks. Husky Harris, Dave Rotunga, Michael McGillicuddy, CM Punk, of course. Slater and Gabriel were in it very briefly, but then they refused to hit each other, so they left. And I think that might be it.
Okay, general knowledge. How many 5-star Meltzer matches was CM Punk involved in?
I'm just gonna say
None. Meltzer never gives 5 stars
One.
to WWE.
It was one.
Cena?
Cena and Punk at Money in the Bank.
Did that get 5 stars?
I don't know. I'm just guessing. Surely it did.
I'm guessing it's a trick question, and I'd say none.
I'm going to say, well,
Because Meltzer didn't give Undertaker Shawn Michaels 5 stars.
I mean, I'll go with yours, but I'm pretty sure I gave one. I'm confident he gave one.
Okay, if you're confident, I'm not confident, but if you're confident, we'll go with that. Last question, pay-per-view. Punk debuted in the 2007 Rumble, but who eliminated him? Guessable if you take your time.
Kevin Thorne. I'm not taking my time. Sorry, Ken. I'm saying Kevin Thorne. Do you have anyone else?
I don't. No.
Because I know Kevin Thorne was in it. I know that for a fact. I don't know why I remember that, but I do.
Question 1, Shannon Moore.
Yes.
Over 7.
Yes.
Jeff Hardy.
Bollocks. Yeah, that did. Orton was hard to imagine, I suppose.
Husky Harris, Michael McGillicuddy, David Otunga, and Mason Ryan. You said all.
Oh, mate, no, I didn't say Mason.
Oh, fuck you! We could've gone away.
Fuck me, alright.
So on 2.
Mason Ryan.
3. Oh.
What were they like? No.
John Cena.
Yeah.
That was 1. And then 2 Samoa Joes for Ring of Honor. Yeah, that whole feud.
I forgot about this. Yeah,
Last one, the Great Khali.
Oh, yeah. Shit, I forgot he was in it, actually.
Bollocks.
So I was thinking Viscera, and I was like, no, he eliminated Viscera. I don't know.
Alright,
I
guys.
actually would be able to catch my bus.
Keane might be able to
much.
catch his bus.
checking out real
We
quick.
flowed through this. Apologies if we had to skim through some questions. We think we had.
No, we answered them all. That was because, I mean, like, for the one that I felt I went really quick through the stripper one, but I would not. We could be sitting here for half an hour. It'd be dead air.
We'll do it when Katie comes back. She'll know. She'll be mad for that shit. Anyway, guys, until next week, where we will be back with the regular Low Blows. For Corporate Keane, I've been Rick Nash, and that's the bottom line. Because Low Blow said so. Go get your bus.
Hey.